in Canada. Any police officer, firefighter who dies in the line of duty, I paint them. But those we present to the families as a thank you for their loved ones' services. We've been from coast to coast to coast to coast last year and the year before and the year before presenting all these. But I have to slow down now and concentrate on my peacekeepers because God only knows how much time I have left. My name is Dave Sofa, and I'm the artist with Portraits of Honor.
It was probably a brainstorm about 3 o'clock in the morning when Dave was painting the mural, and he said, you know, that there has to be more than just local people see this. In a conversation that was very casual, said, what do you think about taking this across Canada? Sure, why not? My name is Bruce Lloyd, and I was the National Project Manager for Portraits of Honor. It's 158 soldiers, sailors, airmen, and airwomen that lost their lives in Afghanistan since 2001. Dave, at what point would you say doing the mural became an obsession?
An obsession? Almost immediately. Oh, I couldn't get enough of it. Before the illness, I came in here every day, usually about 5, 6 in the morning, and I'd work until sometimes 2 in the morning. And my wife would be sending over food and whatever I needed, keep me going. Now it's Ensure. I drink a lot of Ensure. I started off as an airbrush artist back in the 70s. Airbrushing cars, vans, motorcycles, you name it, I painted it. There's nothing I haven't painted over the years. But I can do about 3 portraits a day with my airbrush. With these, with an oil painting, I found out soon that it was no easy chore. It took me about 80 hours, 70 to 80 hours on each face. But I wasn't going to give up there just because it was going to take me a long time.
To my knowledge, Dave had never painted oil on canvas before. He was an airbrush artist, and this is like saying, hey, I can drive a boat, I can also fly a plane. No, they're very different. I'm Sean Libben, and I was the National Operations Manager for the Portraits of Honor Tour. Everybody has a different way of doing something. Some people stroke a check, some people send a care package. Dave was an artist. This is a great man and a great Canadian who really believes in our troops, and he wanted to do something. But he also was an artist who stepped way outside of his comfort zone.
There, right here, it's the newspaper article right here. And with the 100, the first 100 killed, and now we know it's 158. Looking at those eyes, it just told me I had to do something for them. It would have been easy enough to walk away from it and say, no, I can't do it, it's too much. It was very important to show the families that Canada cares about their loved ones. It was very important just to keep their lives alive.
I didn't really know Dave Sofa. I certainly wasn't aware of a mural that was coming to life in the basement of the Kin Canada headquarters in Cambridge, Ontario. I didn't know any of that. As I first saw it, I was awestruck by the mural, but I was also awestruck by the man who was taking the time to put his heart and soul literally into the canvas. Kin Canada saw the promise of this project. They saw the beauty in Dave's mural. They saw the opportunity that Dave was bringing to them to be able to bring Canadians together across the country and do something meaningful for not only our troops and their families, but just Canadians in general.
And kin from across the country had gathered in Halifax and launched this project and waited in anticipation that hopefully they would be chosen as a community to portray what kin is really all about. And when you look at what masterpiece I would call it, I believe it's divinely inspired. Dave has done a wonderful job. Not that it brings back any memories. It was, my goodness, the tour was, we were just talking, it was almost a decade ago, and just the raw emotion that you still can get when you talk about parts of the the tour and the people you meet and the things that were done.
It's pretty hard not to just feel an emotional attachment and to be out on the road, to be going across Canada to large cities and the smallest of hamlets, and to see the reaction that Canadians felt as they stood walking across the stage of the Portraits of Honor trailer, watching the mural. Some had no connection to anyone, but they felt an emotion. They felt tears, and they felt sadness, and they felt pride. Others had very close emotional connections. I ran into a young man in Camrose, Alberta. He walked across the stage and he stopped dead, and he stood for quite a long period of time. He had a cane in his hand, by the way, and I could tell right away. And I gave him lots of time, and then eventually I walked up and touched his shoulder and said, "You know somebody there, don't you?" And he had been in the LAV, the light armored vehicle that took 5 Canadian lives. He happened to be on the right side of the vehicle that was thrown 20 meters into the air, landing upside down, killing soldiers and a journalist, and he survived that. Forgive me as I tear up telling that story, but I can't count the number of times that this tour brought tears to my eyes before the tour started, during the tour, and still 10 years later.
I think one of the things that the tour was able to teach, freedom is not free. And this mural depicts what the cost is. This is the true cost of freedom. And we have to realize that without people like Dave that have an ability to do this, and then to harness the enthusiasm that comes up in the groundswell behind them, that's what Kin Canada is all about. We're giving back at the same time we're doing. I'm the benefactor here. For whatever I did with this project, I'm the benefactor. It changed my heart. It made a difference to me. And to see the difference in a mother's eyes, a Silver Cross mother standing there looking at her son or daughter, you know that it made a difference because she knows somebody else cares. And Dave allowed that to happen through this mural.
You know, I understand Dave is in poor health, and that breaks my heart. He's a fireball. He's a lot of energy packed into a pretty small package. And to see Dave being less than that, as what I remember, is heartbreaking to me and to so many other of his friends and kin. I hope that Dave is always remembered forever in the Portraits of Honor mural, in all the other pieces of art that he's done. And I hope that he is remembered for being the man who put together a masterpiece that became a catalyst and a lightning rod around which Canadians could come together and remember, honor, and celebrate our Canadian Forces troops.
At this time, now that we've got it pretty well concluded, I would really like to thank Kin Canada, our foundation that helped us get the money together to buy the trailer, and all the hard work that came out of Bruce Lloyd and his group, and Sean Libin, and there's just so many to thank. But one I really would like to thank, every morning when we got up and we traveled to a new town, and there was a parade, there was fireworks for us at night, there was barbecues, dinner, galas. It was just amazing. And Kinsmen and Kinettes right across Canada should be very proud of what they accomplished and what they did. And keep up the good work. It's very important. Thank you very much.